welcome to Epic Geek Out, the only show on the internet where Oblivion is the live-action remake of WALL-E. I'm your host, Rob.
And I'm your host, Chad, and today we're talking about Tom Cruise's new film, Oblivion.
And on Thursday, we're going to be reviewing Sci-Fi's new show, Defiance.
As always, you can check us out over at Twitter at Epic Geek Out. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
You could like us on Facebook, facebook.com/epicgeekout, and also check out the website, www.epicgeekout.com. But let's get into our review of Oblivion. So Oblivion is directed by Joseph Kosinski. It stars Tom Cruise, Morgan Freeman, and Andrea Riseborough. Let's get that right. And it is pretty much the story. It's set in this kind of stylized post-apocalyptic world. Tom Cruise is a drone repairman, and the drones are tasked with protecting these hydro thermo things, basically just these things that convert the water into energy, and his job is to protect them from the aliens that are on the planet. So it's a it's a new story. And Chad, what did you think of it?
Yeah, so this film has been kind of in the making for a little while. They had like a graphic novel that was put out, or not put out, then kind of went into this.
The director made that to try to garner support for it.
And so, I was anticipating it for quite a while. Also seen the trailer a million times before every other movie.
And let me just interject one thing. If you don't remember the trailer and you plan on seeing it, don't rewatch the trailer before going into it, because it does ruin a lot. But.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that the trailer it got annoying at times, but I didn't think it ruined a lot.
Okay.
For me, at least.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot that I'm gonna try not to spoil on this, because it can be spoiled. So don't read anything about it. You just go see it.
Agreed.
Because there is a little twist to it. As a sci-fi film, really good. I thought the effects were above, what I've come to expect in movies, and I was really happy with the way things kind of worked. The ships and the drones just made sense in the way that they were designed, which was really neat. I never really felt like anything was like overly CG in it, which was awesome. I mean, even some of the fantastical looking landmarks that obviously were post-apocalyptic. It didn't look CG to me, at least, which is refreshing in films nowadays. So I really like that. As far as the script goes, I thought it was a mediocre plot, but a really well-written script. The twist that happens in this film isn't really inventive or new. There's actually another film, which I won't compare it to because I don't want to spoil it, that it's pretty much a carbon copy of the plot line.
It's very similar to. Yeah.
Right, but I feel like the way that it's delivered is very tasteful, and I don't know, I think it was well done. I mean, there was constant suspense throughout the whole film. I felt like it was a fun ride. I was always, like, my mind was always working, like, what's going on? There's always kind of action, even when there wasn't action. Like, even when it was just dialogue, there was still, like, tension in the scene, which I thought was really cool. And overall, it could have been a bad movie based on the plot, but I feel like the art style, the script, the acting with Tom Cruise is great as always in it. I feel like everything kind of came together in the right way. It's not amazing, but it's definitely well done, and I think worth a watch for any sci-fi fan. It's refreshing. It's kind of like an ode to 70s sci-fi films, as you said, like 2001, other films like that. That it kind of calls references back to that.
It's a mashup of a lot of
movies. It is.
Yeah,
and I thought that the world was, we've seen post-apocalyptic done many times before, but I thought this was a really fun new take on it. Even the way it looked was really cool. He has this little area of Salos, which you see in the trailer, a little bit of green, where there's still plants growing, and I thought that was a really cool addition and brought a little bit of change to the way the rest of the world looked. But I was really in it the whole time, and I mean, the true testament will be if on rewatch if it holds me. But I really enjoyed it. I thought overall really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I was looking forward to it. We saw the previews for this so many times, and that it just it looked good, in the beginning, and then it kind of got a little stale. But this movie, I thought was great. It is so aesthetically pleasing. The world that is set up, again, it's kind of funny because all the landmarks have survived, and then the other buildings around it haven't in this world. But it really lends to just watching it. It has such a great palette of colors and just cinematography throughout that I really enjoyed it. The score of it is pretty good. I think it helped build some tension in some of the scenes. Although I was able, through deduction, to kind of pinpoint every plot turn, I still really enjoyed the movie. There was one little thing that I didn't see, but it had no point to do with the plot. But I loved the ride. Some people are, some critics are saying that it was slow paced, and I didn't get that.
I don't get that at all.
If it was slow at points, I was so immersed in the world that I was just enjoying my time with it that there was no point. I think the guns were awesomely designed in this.
Everything.
Just really everything made sense, or maybe if it didn't even make sense, it looked just good. So I appreciated the fact that it was added. I think that this is a creative take on, it does, I guess if I have to, pinpoint a complaint, it does seem to pick and choose some different plot points from different movies and kind of mash them together, obviously. But who knows? He might have had his, because I know he's been shopping around the story for a while. I don't know where that falls in the production of other movies and things like that, but it just did seem kind of funny. But overall, I really enjoyed this. I think the acting is pretty decent across the board, and some of the action scenes, are some cool chase scenes in it, which I enjoyed. I think Tom Cruise's ship, in sci-fi, they're there's the Millennium Falcon, there's Serenity, there's some cool ships, but this one just seemed to make complete sense on the way it was designed, and the way it moved was just awesome. The drones, I thought it was a very cool concept on. All around, I really enjoyed the movie. Yeah, I think it's worth going to theaters to check out, especially on the big screen. We didn't get the chance to see it in IMAX.
That would have been cool.
I think it would be awesome in IMAX.
I just want to echo one point you were saying about the plot and being predictable. It's definitely predictable. So if you're going to see it for the twist, that's not what you're gonna. You're not gonna be overly impressed with the twist. That's kind of what I was saying. Is like, it's more artistic in the way that it's presented, and that makes up for the fact that the twist isn't really a twist.
Yeah.
And it was going for the twist, but it wasn't really that over the You could see it coming. It wasn't crazy, but it was fun the way that you got.
So I'm sure it will still, some people will see and they won't realize it, and it's a very engrossing movie, I think.
Yeah. Overall, awesome movie. I think go check it out for sure. We're coming up in May time period where there's gonna be a lot of really fun stuff out.
So excited for the movie.
So see this now, because in 2 weeks you're gonna be filled with Marvel and everything that you're not gonna want to see this. So check it out now, Oblivion.
So it's that time of the episode where we like to give our thanks. Chad, what are you thankful for today?
I'm going to actually thank something from Oblivion. I'm going to thank the soundtrack, which you mentioned in the review. This director did it last time with Tron Legacy, which, by the way, side note, I wanted to mention during our review that I like Tron.
I liked it,
and
too.
You did, too.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people have said this is a lot better, Oblivion. But
it is. I would agree that it's
much better.
I
would too. Yeah. But he does something really fun in Tron Legacy. He matched up a traditional composer with Daft Punk, and then in this one he mixes up with another kind of electronica band, M83. So I actually listened to it today at work, and it's just a really cool score. If you have the chance, it's on Spotify. Check it out. It's really awesome, and when you're working, you're like, I'm gonna kill some shit. It's awesome. But I really enjoyed the score, and that really makes the movie even that much better, above and beyond. It has a really good score that keeps you in it. So I enjoyed that as well, like you did, and check it out. It's cool.
Yeah, and so for my thanks today, I'm going to do a mini review. I also got the chance to check out 42 this past weekend, which is the story of Jackie Robinson. I think it's a movie that should be seen, though I kind of wish it was a better movie. The story is amazing. Anyone who knows the story, it is, he's the only, 42 is the only number that is retired by all of baseball. The story is prime for a movie, and, it deserves a great treatment of a biopic like Ray or something along those lines. There were some points where the world just seemed we're trying to set this in this time period, kind of had a feel that took me out of it. But overall, I think, the story is just so great that it's such an inspiring tale that I think it deserves to be seen. This is a PG-13 where they, They definitely use racial slurs and things like that because it's appropriate for the setting of the movie, and I think might be good and palatable for kids to see, to kind of, because it was bad at points, but to see how ugly racism can be, I think it was a decent movie for kids to kind of see in regards to that. Though parents, if anyone's watching this, check it out first, because don't go by what I say by any means. So I think it could have been done better. Harrison Ford I didn't like in the movie, but yeah, I mean it was good overall. So
I do want to check it out. So cool. So we're gonna be back on Thursday. We're gonna talk about Defiance, the new show on Sci-Fi. So make sure you check back for that. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.